This solo literally broke me. Today I was teaching a lesson and one of my students asked me, hey, do you know how to play the solo from Freebird? And I realized that I haven't checked it out yet. Dude, how do you not know the Freebird solo? Like, everybody knows the Freebird solo. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna go ahead and learn the solo, and I figured while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and see how long does it take me, a professional guitar teacher, guitar player, to learn how to play the solo from Freebird. It took me hours or minutes to learn the Freebird solo. Let's get to learning the solo. And by the way, I'm learning the solo by ear, so I'm not going to, if at all possible, use any video reference. Spoiler alert, I had to use video references. And while I'm at it, I realized that I don't even know what the name of the guitar player from Lynyrd Skynyrd is who played the solos. The heck is wrong with you, bro? You don't know who Alan Collins is? So let's look that up real quick. Alan Collins. Alan Collins is a freaking goat. Oh yeah, it's this. Oh, sorry about you not being able to see my right hand there. That'll get fixed later. Like in my head, I heard it as... But it's actually... So there's a lot of nuanced articulation in there. So it's gonna be interesting to see how close I can get that. Okay, so I remember that there's a whole bunch of that over and over. So that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to slow that down. That is insanely freaking fast. Why is it? It sounds like there's two guitars playing. Is that correct? I think that there's two guitars. You didn't know it was two guitars already? Idiot. Yeah, there's totally two guitars playing, and it's really confusing. I don't know if that's playable. It shouldn't be. I mean, otherwise, why would there be two guitars if one guitar could play it? But see what I can figure out with that, because this is gonna be pretty insane. It sounds like dan dun 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 dun. Boo, that sucked. I think I'm gonna try to do it with my finger. I think that's it. That's got, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's bent, but it sounds like, I guess that's gotta be what it is. That's the only way it's playable that fast, for me at least. I'm gonna have to practice that part for a while. Okay, so it is a bend. I'm glad I looked that up, because it is a bend. That's hard. That's a hard bending lick. Yeah, that's not easy. Oh, so what it is you just suck at bending. It seems like what he's doing there is kind of pre-bending, but it's so fast, it's hard to do. And then releasing and pulling off to the D. It's not really it, bro. Relax. Another spoiler alert, I could not play it with the bend, but I did try. I tried very hard. So that's how far I got on day one after 45 minutes of practicing. Already stuck on a nearly impossible to hear exactly how it is played lick. Awesome. Okay, so I had started working on this solo 2 days ago. I've now worked on it for about 15 minutes today. I decided now that I want to start moving past this first crazy lick. I decided to go ahead and just play this for right now, something like this. It's this kind of triplet-y thing. I'm pretty sure, based on watching the video of Alan Collins playing it, he's definitely doing this crazy bending thing where it's like... and right now, I mean, I haven't done that kind of insane bending in a while, so my finger's really shot, actually. It's literally sore. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, my fingers are sore from bending. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. You suck at bending. I'm gonna move on from that part, and I just want to start moving on to the rest of the solo, but at least now I have something that's playable over that section. We're gonna start getting to work on the next parts of the solo after that first insane lick. That was really bad, everything I just did there, but I kind of faked my way through it. So that's the transition. Okay. Okay, so there's that, well, thankfully, as you can see, this stuff here is a little bit easier to figure out because, well, I'm slowing it down and both guitars are playing the same thing. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting there. Sounds like this is hard to hear here. What's up with all that string noise, bro? Just kidding, no more unison guitars anymore. Time to confuse you again. Yeah, these doubled up guitars, it's not exactly the same. That's one of the reasons why people, when I hear they're not playing exactly the same, it's impossible. You can't play it absolutely down to last detail. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing as an amalgamation. It's just kind of... It sounds like these two things are happening at the same time. On one, you got... And then on the other one, you got... And those are both happening at the same time. It freaking sounds amazing, but obviously I can't play both of them at the same time. So this is one of the really interesting challenges with learning some recorded music is that, especially if you're trying to learn it by ear, there's some judgment calls that have to be made. It can't sort of be absolutely perfectly spelled out for you all the time. So in this case, I'm having to make some decisions as to how I want to play some certain things because I just can't make it sound absolutely exactly the same because you need two different guitars playing at the same time. And of course, it's also extremely hard with some of this fast stuff to hear the exact differences in what's going on. But there's a few parts here where I'm going to have to make some judgment calls. So hopefully it doesn't make me look that dumb. So you can hear that part kind of like morphs right there. And so I need to kind of approximate where I'm gonna start changing the rhythm. All right, so then you have this. You can see I'm alternate picking this lick there, but I ended up changing it to a pull-off, which is kind of foreshadowing as to my absolutely most massive problem I had with the solo. This other one before that I feel pretty comfortable with already. Well, let's see if I can do a 150 right now. Almost. Yep, that's right, kids. That's what real guitar practicing looks like. It doesn't look quite as good as Giacomo Turra's practicing, I guess, huh? Sorry about that. I just need to, I'm too tense. That's the thing about playing this fast stuff is, for me, it's not good enough to just be able to play it. I want it to feel effortless, or else it's not gonna be consistent. Let's figure out what those exact notes are after that. Okay, so there's some harmonies happening there. Oh man. What is that? That's what I'm gonna play there. I think that might be the lick afterwards, but yeah, geez, I have a blister. So we're doing well so far. I managed to knock out a few licks in a row, no problem. They're all in unison. Let's see how long that lasts for. I was right. I was right. That was the lick. Okay, cool. There you can very clearly hear. There's even in the left speaker, and then the right speaker, the same exact lick is going on. So the question is, do I think it sounds like a bend or a slide? It's definitely one of the two. Yep, it is a bend. Each presents itself with its own challenge because, well, the bend is gonna hurt my finger. And the slide, it's a lot of shifting around. I'm probably inclined to think it's probably a bend. So we're skipping ahead a few seconds because I'm just gonna improvise there because that's exactly what's happening there. So at this point, I decided to just stop transcribing and clean up everything that I've got so far. I'm gonna be listening to the solo a lot. I think that's an important part of learning a solo is even when you're not practicing it, you gotta listen to it a lot. Speaking of which, go listen to my song, Never a Perfect Time. Link in the description down below. That'll help you be more efficient with your time. For example, when I was playing that lick there, I remembered what it sounded like from listening to the recording, as hard as it is to hear when you're listening to it at full speed, but I remembered it. And I was able to kind of figure that out even before I got there. We are going to start working on the next part of the solo. It's been a couple days since I have worked on this. I've been working on some other stuff, working on some new songs, but we are ready to get back at it. There should only be a few more really fast licks that are unique. I think there's a few of them that just kind of start getting repeated again at the end, but we're gonna have some work to do, so let's get started. It sounds like the guitars are playing the same notes. So it sounds like they're playing a bunch of B flats, A's, G's, and F's. Something like that to that effect. And I just gotta figure out exactly what I wanna play. Yeah, I've done a lot of transcribing by ear. This is one of the most nightmarish things to figure out. When you got this insanely fast stuff with the distortion, that makes it even less clear to hear each pitch. And then you got these two things in the speaker, but I think that this is what I'm gonna have to go with. Let me put it to you this way. I think if I was playing and, I said, oh, I'm playing Freebird, and I played that, I don't think anybody would come up to me and say, you're playing it wrong. Someone would definitely comment that on this video, though, wouldn't you? So, that's sometimes the standard that I have to hold myself up to when you're trying to do something that's really annoying like this. So now the question is, how do I transition out of that? And it seems like it's going to be something like this. Well, we officially made it. It's the start of my absolute unraveling in trying to learn this solo. I kind of want to play this here. I don't know if that doesn't make sense from a fingering standpoint to be able to slide up to the C. So I think I might have to do it here. And this will actually make things easier. There's this lick that comes before here that I heard that it wouldn't really be conducive to playing it over here. So I ended up changing the fingering for this. You can see that I had to slide backwards a lot, and that's kind of hard to do when it's fast, so I changed it. A lot of times when I'm working on something and, I'm trying to figure out where's the best place to play it on guitar, you need to look at the context. This looks ugly, guys. I know. Practicing isn't pretty, and especially learning some stuff by ear is not pretty. My brain is literally in pain right now. It almost sounds like each guitar is one guitar is going, and the other one is just randomly just going. Just doing whatever he wants, basically, is what I'm chalking it up to. I think that's actually it. It's this thing's gaslighting me. All right, that seems reasonably close. I'm hearing that guitar in the left speaker, changing. It's so hard to stick to what you're doing when that's happening. So several minutes later, even though I'd already learned that lick, I couldn't really figure out the transition, and it took me a really long time to figure it out. All right, so we finally got that part figured out reasonably well. That starts at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm gonna practice that a bit more and try to get it up to full speed. And we officially made it. This is the part that proceeds to be the bane of my existence for a long time.
Misa Mumsies is not the bane of my existence, though. No, she's not. No, she's not.
It is April 10th, and I finally feel reasonably comfortable with that section that is at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I actually uploaded a video. I called it The Hardest Part of Freebird, which is just me playing that section. I got that down a few days ago, and even though I was able to get a decent take all the way through it, I still don't feel totally comfortable with it. My standard of learning something correctly is not only should I be able to play through it multiple times without making any mistakes, but it should also feel very easy. It should feel effortless. And to me, even if I can actually play through something multiple times without making any mistakes, which by the way, I still can't with that, if I don't feel that great while I'm playing, then I still think it needs more practice. However, just for the sake of time, it has been almost 2 months ever since I started working on that section and I had finally transcribed it and figured out what I wanted to play. Now, there's been some days that I've missed of practicing this specific thing, but I've been pretty focused on it and practicing it at least an hour a day, many days, an hour and a half, 2 hours, even some 2.5 hours just straight of just playing through that. Specifically 2,997 minutes, which is 49.95 hours. And it really has taken a tremendous effort to get that section down. So This solo is definitely proving to be a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be challenging, but I didn't think it was going to be one of these multi-month long project solos that it's turning out to be, which is great, which means that I'm getting better. With that being said, now I'm going to finally move on past that section and start figuring out the rest of the solo so that hopefully we can go ahead and get the whole entire solo reasonably down at, a slow speed, and then I can practice running the whole entire thing and finally get a whole run through so we can finally figure out how long it's going to take me, a professional guitar player with a master's degree, to learn the Freebird solo. So let's go ahead and start getting transcribing more. That was still so bad. Oh yeah, the G string on my Les Paul is constantly going out of tune playing the solo. As a matter of fact, at some point I actually just started tuning it sharp so that by the end of all the bending stuff, it would be in tune. So it sounds like the guitars start playing some different stuff. One side you got this. And then now it sounds like this lick is gonna come back in from earlier. Which I haven't been practicing that much because I've been practicing basically exclusively the part that starts at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. But then it sounds like there's some other little variations going on there. So let's go ahead and listen to that again. So I'm definitely gonna play that part. So let's figure out, it definitely changes at the end though. Definitely hear that coming in. Nope, that ain't really it, bro. I think that's the line there. Not quite. That's it. Ten minutes later. There may have been a wrong note in there, but it was pretty much it. Okay, so then you have this. Cool little lick where you bend up. It's been mainly based on G minor pentatonic, this solo, but this is that cool bluesy vibe where you're mixing major pentatonic and minor pentatonic. So now all this stuff is the major 6. And then now bending that second up to the 3rd. Really cool stuff. So I think I pretty much figured out what I'm gonna play here. So I think I've got now to 7:29. So it looks like we have less than 2 minutes left in the solo. So thankfully it is. I don't think that's gonna be too much of a technical challenge. The way this has been going so far, you should probably stop thinking that, bro. So now there's just a lot of this. It's really actually quite simple there. I'll probably just randomly play some stuff like that, or maybe I'll keep playing. They're gonna start getting into all these bends that go really high So, of course, I'm sure it's going to be like different stuff and the left or right speaker, and it's going to be really annoying to try to figure out exactly what's going on. So, I can't be such a perfectionist about this. That's exactly what someone who's bad would say, isn't it? Okay, so there it sounds like one guitar, they're both kind of going, but then one of them just starts going. Kind of with this crazy vibrato, bending that C up to D. While one of them's going like this, maybe one of them's going, and the other one's going. So this video is pretty much guaranteed to get demonetized, so if you could do me a solid and like, share, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. This is where the free bird solo is really free birding. Okay, so then now we're going to this part. I'm assuming this is what's coming after, which on this guitar is going to be a pain to play just because of the grip here. A double cutaway would be like really nice right about now. And I never really got totally comfortable squeezing my hand enough to play that lick on the Les Paul. You have to go all the way to the 22nd fret on this Les Paul. You got this A here, and you gotta bend that up to B. And then you can't even see it there, but I have my pinky is hitting this. Luckily, this is chewing up tons of time. I mean, now we're up to 7 minutes and 55 seconds, so we're already almost a minute and a half past the part I just spent 2 months practicing. Or maybe you need a Gibson Firebird, bro. Yeah, it would make sense that he was playing this on that Gibson Firebird, because on that Gibson Firebird, there's nothing here. It's way easier to get that high up in the neck, so I'm not gonna make an excuse of it. It's borderline unplayable on this guitar just to get there. I still think I can get it, but it's just my thumb is just blocked back here. That's kind of annoying. That's a good little factoid to know about the solo, is that it's good to have a double cutaway. Once again, both guitars are playing something different. Something like that. I think great. This stupid lick again. So that's kind of neat. It's a little bit different. You go. Well, at least I didn't have to play it as long. Slightly different line there. That's probably the last clear line that happened. Well, that sounded kind of weird out of context. And it's a little bit delayed, the phrasing there from what happens, and then I'm probably just gonna improv some stuff there at the end. So after this point, both of the guitars kind of finally permanently separate, so I'm pretty much out of the woods as far as transcribing any of the unison parts, and here I'm just gonna start improvising. I think I pretty much got it transcribed to a reasonable level. I don't think anybody would ever come up to me and say, hey man, that's not the Freebird solo. I don't know. Nobody would ever come up to me in real life and say that. Actually, somebody definitely would comment that, or they would say the Freebird solo sucks, even if you play it perfectly, because it's not as good as Yngwie Malmsteen or Giacomo Tura. Okay, so clearly, basically right there at 8:45 8-ish, 8:40, 8:45, it starts fading out. It's kind of not clear. The both guitars are playing two different things. So I will say, I just made a realization in the parts where both guitars are clearly playing completely different things. Well, I guess that's why I passed for me to play whatever I want to. Because they're clear. So there's parts where they're kind of coming together, and there's parts where they're both improvising. So you know what? When I do cover this, and even if I'm playing over the recording, I'm going to go ahead and just take the liberty to play whatever the hell I want, because clearly that's what's going on here, okay? So after spending 2 months working on that one lick, it took me 50 minutes to learn the rest of the solo. Nice. So far, the moral of the story is that the Freebird solo is relatively simple, actually. All the licks are pretty simple, but for me, in my case, I got hung up on one part that just absolutely kicked my ass. So that part starting at 6 minutes and 30 seconds is just, it's very fast, and it's happened so many times. Here's just a quick reminder of what that sounded like. That wasn't even at full speed. That was bad. There's so many parts that you can go wrong in. However, the rest of it's not that bad. You know, the main challenges are that one part, and then also the main challenges, some of the parts in the beginning, pretty much throughout the whole entire solo, where you just basically can't tell really what's going on because there's too much differentiation between the two parts, and you have to sort of amalgamate what you want to do there. This solo literally broke me. It is now April 29th. It has been almost 3 months ever since I started doing this project. There's been so many challenges that I've had to overcome with doing this, and to be quite frank, the final challenge I didn't overcome. I quit. Okay, I quit trying to play this lick the way that I thought it should be played. I'm just going to play it in an easier way, and that is this lick right here. So in the solo, you get this thing, which I'm gonna be playing it like this now. But I felt that I should be able to alternate pick this lick, which it would sound like this. And here's that sped up just for funsies. Don't you just love fake sped up playing? And the whole thing, it starts on its 16th notes at about 150 BPM, and it starts on the So the problem with this lick is that really, even though it's this box pattern, this here is the downbeat. So it's like so that's where it sits within the beat. So watching myself play that slowed down, I realized I was using what Troy Grady likes to call an upstroke escape motion. For me to be able to alternate pick that and have any chance at succeeding, I needed to actually use a downstroke escape motion. But of course I didn't do it slowly there, which I was doing when I was practicing it, but I still suck at it. Just by going on principles of alternate picking, you would actually start this lick on an up stroke. So you go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And ideally too, you can hear that actual accent on the downbeat on that F note that's on the 13th fret of the first string. So that has been the main hang up for me on this solo the whole entire time. In the long term, I still am going to continue to practice doing that lick because it's definitely made my alternate picking much better. There's been many different approaches that I've taken to working on that lick that have helped my playing. For example, I started isolating the right hand. So something like this. And then trying to do it faster. That right hand isolation definitely helped a lot. It just helps to get rid of everything that you're doing with the left hand and focus all your attention on the picking. And so on and so forth. Also breaking the lick into different chunks. So for example, da 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 da. Or so having all these different variations of the lick kind of allowed me to get pretty close to being able to do it at 150. And I did have some kind of sloppy run-throughs and some that were almost there. But the problem is too that the relaxation part is so difficult. It's so difficult with this lick. So that's why I decided to simply quit and just cave in. Wow, dude, you are such a quitter. And instead, what I'm gonna be doing is playing that lick as such. I'm barring down the 13th fret of the first and second string. And at first I said, okay, I'm gonna do pull-offs. So that should be way easier because now I don't have to do all this work with my pick. And on top of that, actually, I'm just going to do this bar instead of constantly switching the first finger back and forth, which is actually very, very hard at 150 beats per minute. So even then, though, doing this and saying, I'm going to pull off with just my third finger and play it like this. Well, even once you get to 150 BPM, still a lot of tension can creep in. So I decided I want to make it even easier. People these days always looking for the easy way out. It is kind of a finagling thing you have to do, but technically it's easier because now the work is distributed between more fingers. So now I'm playing the pull off from the 15th to the 13th on the first string with my third finger. And then I'm playing the one on the second string with my second finger. So now each string gets assigned to a finger. So now we don't have to worry about a finger kind of moving back and forth at about this speed, by the way. Like, that's about how fast the finger has to move back and forth when you're trying to alternate pick this lick. By the way, let me know below if you can alternate pick that lick at 150 BPM. That would be super impressive. I would be ridiculously impressed if you could do that. But don't say you can do it if you don't have a video of yourself doing it, and that video can't have any funny Giacomo Tura business in it either. I have a freaking master's degree, and master's degree, schmaster's degree, no one cares. I've played countless numbers of gigs before. I'm a professional musician, and it's taken me like 2 months of practicing just that lick, and I still can't get it to the point where I can comfortably alternate pick it. I officially am broken, and I quit. You quitter, you make me sick. I actually found a great backing track that removes the solo, so I'm very curious to see how close I can get it sounding with just one guitar, one take. Well, I actually did way more than one take, but what you're gonna see is only one singular take that I'm not going to edit. I'm not even gonna record it on a DAW. I'm just literally going straight from my Logic sound into OBS, and whatever happens, happens. So I'm not gonna punch in anything. Yes, I know it's shocking. It will not be fake guitar playing, which means it will definitely not get any views. I want to see how well I can play the Freebird solo and how convincing I can make it just with my guitar and one solid take through the solo. So let's see what happens. Dude, I'm nervous just watching this. Here's the moment of truth. have it. It took me 67.53333 hours, or 4,052 minutes, to learn the Freebird solo enough to get that take and recording through it. So let me know what you think. Do I suck? Do I not suck? Did it take too long? Was that impressive? Or do you hate me? Or do you not hate me? Let me know, and subscribe to the Jamsville YouTube channel. And also, if you want to learn how to master the guitar fretboard, go to jamsville.com. Oh yeah, check out my music, link in the description below.